Driver San Francisco is a game that, after playing, made me wonder, why have we not gotten more games like this? The driving feels amazing, the open world is nearly perfect, and it's got one of the most innovative game mechanics in any racing game that I've ever played. Yet, it never got a sequel, and I don't feel like I hear enough about how good this game really is. So let's dive into this game so I can show you the masterpiece that is Driver San Francisco. The game starts with the criminal Jericho escaping from prison, and you have to try and catch him. This lets the game introduce the main characters in the story and gives the player a chance to try out the driving. You chase Jericho until you find yourself in this alleyway.
Where'd he go? Whoa, he's behind us! Come on, man, drive!
This is where the game gets really interesting. This crash put Tanner in a coma, and we are now inside of Tanner's head. In this next section as we're driving, we can even hear the noise from the ambulance that Tanner's actually in.
Traffic? Come on already, drive faster, Ray!
After finally catching up to Jericho's car...
Damn it! Whoa. Hey, you alright?
Steady! That guy's in pretty bad shape back there!
This ability is called shifting, and it is a major part of the game. We then have to drive the ambulance to the hospital, completing what I would consider to be the intro. I think they've done an amazing job setting up the story and shift mechanic, while also giving the player a reason to be interested. I'll briefly talk about the story again later, but for now I want to focus on the shift mechanic and how it turns what would have been an okay racing game into one of the most memorable, unique games available. So the shift mechanic lets you take control of basically any vehicle in the game. It's always available for you to use and it works so flawlessly. There's no annoying loading screens or lag when you shift, and it's really easy to use. You can press a single button to separate your camera from your car. This lets you move around and look for the vehicle you want to control. You then click on that car and now you're in control of that vehicle. It's really fun using this ability to help win a race or escape a car chase by crashing another car into my opponents. This ability, combined with the giant selection of cars in the open world, creates an amazing system that gives variety to every mission. Speaking of the variety of vehicles, there are so many options to choose from. Something I like about this game that you don't see in a lot of other racing games is that the focus isn't always on supercars. Most of the vehicles you'll be driving are normal cars that you would genuinely see in a real city. There are supercars available to drive, but most of the time, you'll just be driving a regular car. I think this adds a lot to the immersion of the game, and I really like it. Outside of regular vehicles, you can also find two vehicles that have interesting mechanics attached to them. The first is the tow truck. If you drive a car into the back of this vehicle, it will get stuck on the hook and be towed around. It's a very simple mechanic, and they use it well in a few missions. The second vehicle is the car carrier, and these are brilliant. They basically function as a moving ramp, and they are just a lot of fun to encounter in the open world. Even though you may not be interacting with these vehicles a lot, I still appreciate them being in the game, and I think they add a few fun mechanics to the open world. The last thing I want to mention about the vehicles in this game is the destruction. When you crash your car, parts of it will fall off and the vehicle will deform, giving you a proper visual indicator of how damaged your vehicle is. It also adds a lot of impact to crashes, which makes driving feel a lot more intense. Moving on from vehicles, let's talk about the open world. As I said earlier, there is a huge variety of vehicles in the open world, but something that really impressed me is the amount of cars driving around. This game came out on the Xbox 360 and PS3, yet it has this many cars on the road and somehow doesn't have loading screens when shifting around the map. Besides the amount of cars on the road, the open world is structured quite well. It's got a simple layout, meaning I never got lost, but it's big enough to not get boring. The map is split into different areas which you unlock throughout the story. Once you unlock them, it just opens up the roads to that part of the city, meaning there are no additional loading screens. They have also placed a ton of destructible props all around the map, which just makes the game so much more cinematic. When you're exploring the open world, you will also find a lot of side quests, but the problem with this is most of them are very boring. They are usually just a simple challenge that you can complete in a few minutes to get some easy points. There's no fun dialogue or interesting use of mechanics, which is a shame. Luckily, they are completely optional, and you don't have to play them if you don't want to. So, I've already talked about how you unlock new areas of the map, but this game has a lot of other things for you to unlock. The first and most interesting is new abilities. These are once again unlocked through the main story and give the player game-changing abilities like ram, boost, and quick shift. I like how they consistently build on the systems they have in an interesting way. The boost in particular makes a huge difference to the gameplay, letting you easily catch up to opponents. But if you do it at the wrong time, then you could lose control and crash. Outside of the new abilities, there are car garages all over the map, letting you unlock new vehicles and boosters. You earn points to spend at these garages by doing side quests or just driving around the open world. Buying new cars at these garages is, well, exactly what you would expect. You can buy new cars here to have easy access to them without needing to randomly find them in the open world. But the one thing I really care about that they sell in the garage is the cinematic camera. Driving around with this camera is really silly and I love it. Some of the camera angles it gives you are evil as you can't see what's coming at all. What am I supposed to do? I can't see! In my first few hours of playing the game, I didn't care about buying stuff from the garages, but over time I started to care a lot more, and now I like it quite a bit. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is the story. I've already talked about the first mission and how well it introduces the game, but does this level of quality carry on through the rest of the experience? Honestly, yes. For context, I've never played any of the driver games before this, so I had no idea who any of the characters were or what the story was leading up to this game. The writers did a really good job with making the narrative beginner friendly while continuing the story from the previous games. Alongside the story, there are also so many creative ideas sprinkled into the main missions. I don't really want to spoil any of them because I think you should play the game and experience them for yourself, but I will give one example, so if you don't want story spoilers, then now's your chance to skip ahead. So in the mission called The Target, you get into a car chase, but you're in the second person. Your camera is in the car chasing you. This is such a cool idea, and it's something that I have never experienced in another game. Not controlling the vehicle your camera is in feels weird, but it works really well overall. Something else I like about the story is that Jones comments on Tanner's abilities throughout the game. An example of this is when he asks Tanner out what happens to his body after he shifts. Which really is a good question, as Tanner's car still drives around the city after he's shifted.
Give me a heads up when you're doing that. I want to know if you're Tanner or some zombie autopilot. Sorry, frickin' zombie.
Overall, Drive for San Francisco is an amazing game with so many awesome ideas that you can't find anywhere else. I can't believe that this game never got a sequel, expanding even further on the ideas that they used in this game. Also, Ubisoft, please re-release this game so people on PC or digital-only consoles can play it too. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.